Hi, this is Brittany Madison, and you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation.
Different level now, you know. I'm gonna do the same thing to Plant. I'm gonna do the same thing to Munguia. I'm gonna do the same thing to Charlo. You know, I got dynamite in these hands. And like what Floyd Mayweather told me, he said, yo, kid, you got dynamite in them hands. Just let them shits fly. Nobody's gonna stand there with you. Nobody. You hit too hard. You too smart. IQ.
Well, talking about your ring IQ, that might be a little bit of a stretch. Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So that was Edgar Berlanga talking about what Floyd Mayweather told him, which inspired him. Something else that inspired him was a 12-round fight he had with Canelo Alvarez. He did manage to win a couple of rounds in that fight, which I believe he's real proud of. I think the most rounds he won on one scorecard was about 2 or 3 rounds. The other 2 judges had to fight a damn near shutout. But if you listen to the way Berlanga talks, you would have thought that he got robbed in this fight. And this is the fighter that Turki Al-Sheikh decided he wanted to be in the main event over the biggest star on the card and over the biggest fight on the card, Shakur Stevenson versus William Zepeda. Let me just ask you real boxing fans, I want you to answer this question in your heart. If you could only watch one fight that weekend, would it be Shakur Stevenson versus William Zepeda or Edgar Berlanga versus Hamza Shiraz? That is a rhetorical question because we all know the answer. Now, while Berlanga versus Shiraz, it is a good fight. It's a good matchup. I really want to see how Shiraz is going to look at the new weight class, 168. It's a good fight. But I think that this fight should open up that card because there are a lot of good, significant fights on this card. So me personally, I wouldn't have even had this the co-main event. Speaking of co-main event, they keep trying to say that there's 2 main events. There is no such thing as 2 main events unless they are fighting at the same time, like they often do in the amateurs, where they have multiple rings and multiple fights going on at the same time. If you go over to the Ring website, they're making it very clear that they see Edgar Berlanga as the main event because they make sure that they always put Edgar Berlanga's name first on the headline. Even Mike Coppinger, he's been openly dissing Shakur Stevenson's performances, basically saying that he doesn't deserve to be in the main event after his last 2 performances. Despite the fact that Shakur Stevenson did nothing but march forward and knocked out his last opponent. And remember, Mike Coppinger, he works for the Ring magazine. So that means he doesn't even believe that nonsense when they say, oh, it's just 2 main events. Because he's dissing Shakur Stevenson, trying to justify why he's not the main event. Which makes me wonder, what is the purpose of Turki Al-Sheikh hiring these guys if they are going to push the same agenda, the same narrative? I mean, wouldn't you think that Turki, he would want to hire people who really know about the sweet science? Real boxing fans, not old media race fans that will push the same agenda. Like urging Turki to not have the biggest fight on this card as the main event. Because they personally don't like Shakur and they know this is the best way to send a subliminal message disrespecting him. I've seen some of my viewers say, oh, they're doing this because Shiraz is Turki's boy, you know, with them both being Muslim and all. And I said that would make a little sense. And when I say little, I mean a very little. That would make a little sense if the fight was going to be hosted in Saudi Arabia. But the fight is in America. It's in New York. And Edgar is from New York and Shakur is from New Jersey. And Shakur is the only one that's had 10,000 fans come to his fight. Berlanga has never headlined a card where he even got 5,000 people to come to his fight. I heard Berlanga at the press conference talking about the Canelo Alvarez fight he was involved in. He was talking about how, it was 20,000 fans there. But those 20,000 fans, they were there for Canelo Alvarez. That was Canelo Alvarez's fight card. And we know this to be the case because in Berlanga's very next fight, he fought on a really small card where he was fighting on the undercard, small venue. But with that being said, if Edgar Berlanga wants to really be the star that he claims he already is, then it starts with a win over Shiraz. If he can beat Shiraz, not only will it be the biggest win of his career, but that's where his real star power will start to rise. But it will not be an easy fight because Hamza Shiraz, he's tall and he knows how to control distance. So this fight will be different than any fight that Edgar has ever been involved in before. But it'll be interesting. It is an interesting fight. So with that being said, I'm gonna wrap this video up. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one. All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, the fever blisters, diabetic ulcers, this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called Elo Diki Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to elodiki.com, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram. Let me tell you guys about Issa Israel Law Firm. It is a full-service legal practice based in Denver, Colorado, an emerging hub for combat sports and high-altitude training. If you're a fighter inside or outside of the ring and you need a law firm you can trust to fight for you, visit thefighterfirm.com or email help@iilawfirm.com. Legal representation is usually limited to plaintiffs or defendants in Colorado, but iFirm can help anyone in the world with trademarking their business name, logos, and U.S. immigration issues. This brother has been my attorney for a while and helped guide me through all kinds of business and civil issues, so make sure you guys go to thefighterfirm.com.